in this video, I was going to talk to you about a really big deal about me losing 5 stone in 5 months. It is a big deal. It's huge. However, something really big came along. Oh, it's been growing for a few weeks now, but this last week it's really shown its ugly face that I need to sit down and have a conversation with you about, because I know that I am not the only one. This isn't something that's normally talked about on the Mounjaro journey. But it's something that should be, because I think it's huge. It has a real big impact on all of us. It's not going to be easy because it's going to put me in a very vulnerable position. I don't normally open up like this. Normally these videos are very informative, but I know I'm not on my own. So I feel sharing this, I'm hoping somewhere along the line, if it helps just one other person, result. Feels like my brain has been invaded by loads of little green gremlins that are very grumpy, depressive, angry, paranoid. You probably know where I'm coming with this now, don't you? And it's having a huge impact on how I feel every day. And I need to get it sorted. It's something I need to sort out. I know I'm not alone, and I know these little green gremlins have visited lots of people. So in this video, I'm going to go deep. So this is what I'm going to cover. I'm going to talk about what's going on with me. You probably will be able to relate to a lot of this information I'm going to share with you. Why I'm possibly having these struggles at the moment. I basically do what I call a check-in. I'll go into more detail about that. How I'm going to help myself, and in that it's hopefully going to possibly help one or two of you guys as well, because say it's not something we openly discuss. There is a stigma. I'm also going to share my practical tips, basically what I do to try and help myself, and then you'll find out at the end if it's working or if it's worked. So if you're new here, I'm Jackie. This is my Mounjaro journey. I usually post a weekly update, usually every Sunday, but I'm going to be opening up about how I feel about things. I've never done this before. I've never shared this deep before. And like I say, I'm hoping that you can relate. So let's get stuck in, shall we? You've probably noticed I'm full of a cold as well. So what's going on? Why am I making this video? What has brought me to this place? I'm feeling low, and if you know me, I'm a very positive person, very practical. Thank you so much for all the comments. Everybody's telling me how down to earth I am and practical and honest. That's me. And this is why I'm sharing this with you now. But I'm feeling low. I'm feeling confused. It's like I haven't got clarity anymore on what I'm doing. Each day feels a little bit more like a struggle than the last one. There's a bit of anxiety that's creeping in there, and my feelings are just off. It's like I'm not here, if that makes sense. Why am I feeling like this? This is what I call a check-in, and I do this often since I've been the last 10 years or so getting really big into checking in with myself, which is just another word without frightening you off for meditation. You just look inwards and see what's going on inside. And I've been asking questions. When I do that check-in, I have a look at how I'm feeling about things and ask questions. Now, I might have lost a few of you with this one, but just bear with me. What a lot of people don't do is they don't be very honest with themselves. A lot of people walk around with blinkers on and ignore how they feel. What they don't understand is until you start checking in, you're never really going to understand your feelings. You're never going to understand why you're feeling a certain way. And like I say, I'm in this loop at the minute where I feel I'm low all the time, and there's nothing obvious. It's not something big that's happened in my life. Sorry to disappoint you. It's just little things that I think are building up and building up. So what you have to do is you have to be really honest with yourself, and you have to start examining what your problems are. Start recognising them for what they are, not just life. How many times you hear you say, oh, it's just life, let's just crack on. The amount of people that have said to me over the last couple of weeks, Jackie, just get on with it. Just crack on, move on. That doesn't help, guys. That really doesn't help. So we're looking at what's going on in your life, why I'm struggling, and I check in. How can I help myself? Can it help you as well? I'm going to share some practical tips of what I do, and then I'm going to go through if it's working or if it's worked. This is only my journey. And I think this is also my opportunity to reach out to anybody else out there in the community to say, if you have got a tip, if you've got a suggestion, please feel free to throw it down in the comments. It's not just for me, it's for everybody who reads those comments. And we're very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So there's a lot of people that watch these videos. And if you've not subscribed, you know what to do. So what's going on? I'm feeling this. These feelings are taking over my body and it feels like they're not mine, and I can't explain why. I sat down and started asking myself some questions. So unfortunately, there's not a jab for this. I wish there was. Mounjaro is great for weight loss. It's a miracle drug for me. Like I say, 5 stone down. I should be jumping with joy, but I'm not. And that tells you something, that something is off. Something's not right. Something needs to get sorted, because I should be jumping for joy. Maybe it's taken a while for my brain to catch up with everything. I understand that, but it shouldn't affect how I feel about the day. So what do? I need to have a look at these questions and really be honest and say, can I fix anything? Now, I'm going to give you some examples of my issues. If you've been following me, I have had some thyroid issues, had a thyroid operation, then I've had a couple of really bad scares with gallstones. If you've ever experienced that, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. And it scared me into panicking about what to eat, because I've been told that I've got to stay away from all fat. Now, to tell somebody who's been fat for many, many, many years to stay away from fat, I just looked at him like a deer in headlights. I'm like, what? I have been really fatless with my Mounjaro journey, because I'm very aware about what I put in, but I kind of went into a bit of a shock phase of, well, what can I eat? All of a sudden, I had a medical professional, it wasn't just my choice on Mounjaro, saying to me, Jackie, you cannot eat any fat, because if you do, you're going to release another gallstone and you're going to be in this horrendous pain you might die from. That's what it felt like anyway. So I went into a little bit of a panic mode with this, and I think what's happened is I've kind of got a bit stuck with my food, because my natural diet isn't fatless. I've been fat for so long. There's a reason why I'm on Mounjaro. So to be told suddenly you cannot have any fat, I am freaking out every time I go shopping. And I'm not a great veg lover or a great fruit lover. So I'm having stress around food. But I'm very aware there's another stress, another layer of stress that comes on top of that, because you are very aware your body needs certain foods to survive and give you that energy. So it's like a double stress that's going on. So I'm struggling with that. I'm also struggling with my health. As you can tell, I've had a cold. I am still relentlessly trying to get over a thyroid up. I had partial thyroid removal. It's meant that I'm underactive, and that has created its own issues. I won't go into too much detail, but basically I am freaking freezing all the time, and I'm super tired. And it's not like a bed tired either. It's a proper fatigue, anxiety a few years ago, and my paranoia's kicked in really big. And it comes, somebody said to me, oh, you just got to get on with it and get over it. And you can't do that when you're suffering with anxiety. This is something that you really struggle to have any kind of control over. Anxiety is, I've never experienced any kind of mental health problems ever before about 5 years ago, when all my health went in the toilet and my business, I quit my business, and one thing or another happened, and all of a sudden I was having a terrible time at work, and stress, I think, was a lot of the issues. And all of a sudden I'm in this place where this anxiety just creeped up on me. What the hell is this? I'm Jackie, I'm this strong person that nothing affects me. I'm so positive, and all of a sudden I'm getting these feelings, and snowball effect happening, where things happen in your life that start getting bigger and louder, and then they all start coming together. And this is where I think I am at the moment. It feels like there's a relentless daily thing that's going on. I'm not bouncing out of bed anymore. I'm not excited to do a video. Well, I was quite looking forward to this one, because I think it's an important message that we need to share. When you start getting to that place, you need to check in with yourself and start working out. Just excuse me, because I'm full of a cold at the minute. I don't want to show you a runny nose. So how am I helping myself? I mean, there is always the option that if you are in a dire place and you don't feel you can help yourself, you need professional help. I'm very aware of that, and I would not, I'm 60 in a couple of weeks, and I've learned a few things over the years. This isn't the first time I've experienced something like this. And no matter who you've got around you, who your support network is, you are basically alone in this, because when you start talking about stuff in your head, there's only you that can sort that out and help yourself. So I need to make some changes. So once I've established where my possible issues are, what's creating my anxiety, what's creating my stress, the stuff that you wake up with in the middle of the night or the first thing in the morning, or you go into bed at night and you're thinking these things over, that's the stuff you need to be looking at. So you need to recognise what the problems are. And you need to also remind yourself how far you've come. It's so easy to sit in this place where you haven't got, you can't do, why am I feeling like this? I'm not a great person, or I should be stronger. Or when you start answering all those questions, they are looking at all your negative, where you need to start, as soon as that comes in, you need to start thinking, hang on a minute, no, I'm a good person, or I'm strong, or I've gone through this, or I've lost this much. That's where the place you need to visit. That's the place I feel I need to go when these negative thoughts start coming in. But one thing that is really huge in this is we're not alone, guys. I know for a fact that I'm not alone. I know that there's potentially a lot of you guys that have been through this kind of stuff. And I wanted to share this because I know that even just knowing you're not, even though you have to deal with it on your own, because nobody really understands you except you, you're not alone in what you're trying to do. And that's really, really important to me. So can this help you as well? This is the important part. I've just given you the tools of what I do. I check in, I be honest, I ask questions, I start recognising what my problems and issues are. What I've done from that is I'm looking at each one individually and thinking, right, how can I address that? I won't go into detail of how I'm doing it, but how can I look at that? I'll give you the example of the diet. So I am going to make a huge, huge effort on organising a completely fat-free diet for myself. So I've not got the stress or panicking about the gallstones. I know what I'm shopping for. I know what I'm eating. I'm going to try and do a planner for my food, which I haven't done for the whole of the 20 odd weeks I've been doing Mounjaro. 5 stone loss is brilliant, but I'm coming to maybe the last stone or so now, and it is probably a good idea to start doing the planner. There is a little bit of news I'll share at the end about that as well. So where can you go with this? Use those tools, find what works for you. Have a look at what your issues are. Be honest, have a look at where you can make changes, where you can make fixes, where you can improve things, where you can look at things in a different perspective. If you get to a place where you've been on Mounjaro, you've lost loads of weight, and then all of a sudden you're not losing for a month, and it sends you into a bit of a spiral of depression and feeling low, just go back to how much you have lost. You've got to remind yourself of those positives. That's a huge one for me. I'm a very big believer in really look at what's around you, what's going on, make it better, make it a nicer, warmer place. Put your smellies out, get your candles out, get comfortable, sort the washing out, make sure there's no pots in the sink. This is me, this is how I do it. I've not got any big major cleaning jobs to do because I've done them all. Now, if I have not done my cleaning, I will stress about that. I will stress that this needs to be done, that needs to be done. Don't get me wrong, there is always something to be done in the house, obviously, but I'm talking about the obvious stuff around you every single day. Clear out places. If you've got a corner or a room that you know it needs to be done, it's like that back box of ironing. I always remember I was going to do, I had 2 duvets to iron, and they must have been in the ironing box for about a month because I knew that it'd take ages. So when I stressed about it so much, but then when I actually got on to do it, I thought I'll time myself. Do you know, it took me about 6 minutes to do each duvet. And I'm like, Jackie, why did you just stress for a month over ironing 2 duvet covers? It's like, sometimes things aren't what they seem, and it's exactly the same with sorting a room out. I've got a shelf in my kitchen that I used to just dump everything as I come in, or if I get any post or anything that is, you know, when you have those drawers that have got all bits and pieces on, well, everything just gets put in this corner. Well, every now and again I'll spot it, and I'll spot it, and I'll spot it, and I get to a place where I think, okay, I need to sort that because it's getting on my nerves. That's the stress that comes in. So sorting your environment out. I love my incense burners. I love my candles. I dim the lights. I'll get some nice music on. I'll sometimes put some headphones on. The other side is to TLC, total loving care, I call this. So basically, be kind to yourself. Make time for that bath. Put some bubbles in, or get some nice bubble bath to put it in. Get some candles out. Do whatever you feel you need. This is just my journey. I actually really appreciate that. But I like to meditate as well, and that is just sitting quietly, not doing anything, with some headphones on, or even just in a room with some nice calming music. There's tons of it on YouTube. So it's finding your peace. Go for a walk with the dog, and push yourself not to think about what you need to do when you get back. Stop thinking about a relationship that you need to mend, or that you're having problems with somebody, or a work issue. Force yourself not to think about that stuff, and just pay attention to where you are. Just concentrate on one step after the other. See if you can hear the birds, look at the sky. Do whatever you need to distract yourself away from those issues that are creating possibly low moods. Take yourself out, and you will be surprised at how good you will feel afterwards. We always want reward at the end of things, and there's no big reward from this. When you're doing it, you don't feel any different. You just, oh, okay, I will just do what Jackie says, and just sort of look at the trees and try and listen to the birds. But what that does to you, that actually resets your energy in your mind. So it stops all this constant clutter that is stressing you out. It just takes it down a few notches, which means that when it comes back, it's not going to be as hypersensitive about it all. I'm very big on all this kind of stuff. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So as you can see, there are loads of things you can do. Like I say, if I can get time to edit this, I'll put some little short videos up there. I put a face mask on, or I like messing about with essential oils and carrier oils, and I will just have a play with those and make a nice new smell out, so I can put it, on a tissue or in my bath, or just something that you enjoy. You might want to read a book, and it just takes yourself out of yourself. Just listen to some music. Somebody mentioned a great album last night, The Worlds. Dun, 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 dun. We were talking about it, and when we were talking about it, that was a really big album for me back in the day. And I was getting gooses, we were talking about it. So this morning I got up and I was feeling a bit down, and I found it on YouTube and just sat and listened to it for half an hour. Do you know what? It really perked me up. But they're just my tips. You have to find your own. There's only you that can do this. Nobody else can really knows you like you, and you have to sort that out. You know what's best for you, but you have to recognize what it is, stop, have a look, check in, and then start tackling. That's the only way you can do this. Right, okay, I've got a little piece of paper here. Check in regular on yourself. That's what I'm going to totally recommend that you do here. I'm going to share some news about my Mounjaro thing in a minute. Find your way and learn from others as well. I mean, even if there's one thing in this video that you take away and think, oh, I never thought of doing that. Brilliant. Go and have a look around, see what everybody else is doing. But talk to people as well. We may be alone when we're trying to fix this, but we're not alone in what we're doing. And don't be frightened of speaking up and talking to people. There are lots of resources out there. You've got Mind and the Samaritans and things like that. If you really feel like you're struggling about certain elements, they'll point you in the right direction. If you've got any serious, I'm going to use this word for the first time of this video now, because I know when I hear it, I go, oh no, mental health. It is a mental health aspect. You are looking after your mental aspect of you. See, Mounjaro, we're focusing on the outside. We're focusing on what we look like and what we feel and our health related to the size of us. But this, to me, is so more important, because it doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. If we can't get the inside right, we're not going to appreciate the outside. We're not going to, I know you've got that aspect of Mounjaro where you don't catch up with your weight loss. I understand that. But recognise when something isn't right, you feel it and you need to look at it. Share more with you on the next one. All right, guys, you take care. Sending big heartfelt hugs to every single one of you, especially those who are leaving me these wonderful comments. I'm feeling very humble by your comments. They are amazing. Thank you so, so much. Seems like we've got a little community going on. So go and check out my other video, and you can have a listen over there. Go and check us out. Take care. Bye-bye.